Previously on HunterTube.
I am still gonna have to search for a second duck because I do have plans to get another one. I'm gonna buy a second duck to do that special modification I did with Edward and Gordon, where I made like a CGI push along, a betterized CGI push along Edward and Gordon. I am going to get another duck and take off the face and put a model and put on like a Tommy or Trapmaster or wooden railway face onto this thing, give it the CGI wheels, and make a push along CGI duck. It took almost an entire year, but I finally got one. Hello everyone, this is HunterTube back again, and yes, I know I said the next video would not be a review. Well, I lied. So this came in the mail faster than I thought, and in this box is a package from my good friend Steam Oddity, all the way from the UK, as he sent me some important things that I needed. And the things I ended up sending him in this trade was a Greatest Moments, Classic James, and Classic Gordon. I did not think this box would come this fast, but in this box are some real life ducks. I bet you're thinking, what the heck does that mean? Well, we're gonna open this box and see what these ducks are. All right. So off comes this first layer of wrap. All right. We have what looks like another layer of wrapping in here. Seems to be in a plastic bag. All right. Got a nice box here. Okay. Let's just cut right into this box and see if can we cut right into this box, because I don't want to turn this over without having the label be shown. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I can see him in here! I can see the stuff in here! What is... I see something special as well. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I see the culprits all in this box. Can you tell what it is? All right, we have the back of a box. Ooh, I think Nate threw in a bonus, but we have 1, 2, 3 ducks! And Nate has sent me a special bonus, the UK Thomas magazine. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. Oh gosh, this is so weird. Oh my gosh, these things are cursed. But this right here is what he sent me. I now have an army of ducks growing. Okay, so before the rest of the video begins, if you notice any changes in like the lighting, this is because it is the next day now, and because I didn't even notice that the box was on like the doorstep until like 11 p.m. at night. So anyway, continuing onwards, I'd like to give a very special thank you to Steam Oddity, aka Nate, for sending me these 3 ducks, plus the extra bonus surprise. But I bet you're all wondering, why the heck did I need 2 motorized ducks, as well as another push-along duck? Because if you probably remember, I already have a push-along duck from Nate himself as well. So both of my push-along ducks come straight from the UK. Well, if you remember, back in the previous package unboxing I did from Nate, I said that I needed a second push-along duck to make a custom CGI duck. And for the face, I was originally going to use the face of a Wooden Railway 2013 duck, which I did end up buying off of eBay a few months ago. Yes, I bought this just to cut the face off. But then, just so happened, a few months later, someone posted an image of how the face of the Tommy duck was around the similar size of the new 2025 motorized duck. And then there was this random little video clip knowing how easy it is to take apart the new motorized duck and how nothing is glued together to the part where it holds his face in. So then the gears in me kept turning, and I was like, I wasted my money on this duck just to pull his face off. But I guess he's gonna stay normal now. So that made me realize that I needed a second motorized duck to rip the face off and put it on this duck here. So yeah, that is the whole reason why I needed 2 motorized ducks, as well as another push-along duck. So the CGI duck custom push-along will finally come to fruition. All I need now is the new 2026 diesel re-release for the black wheels. But anyway, we're gonna take these 2 ducks off to the side, as we're not really gonna open them in this video. And besides, this one here is gonna be the one used for the custom anyways, because the sticker on the cab is a bit low to the ground, and it's actually clipping into the boiler there. So we're gonna open up this duck. So let's get to it. Alright, so starting off, here is Duck's box. We got the Thomas & Friends and the Fisher Price logo, as well as the 80th logo. Up here we got Duck's promo from the Brenner era. And inside we got the beautiful duck himself. So it's motorized. And on the back, it looks like this. And we actually have a list of all the other characters we can get. And the only reason we have room for this list is because they didn't decide to throw on a promo of Duck on the back. Which honestly, I am actually fine with. I am glad we have a list of all the other characters we can get, because this is what we need. I really don't understand why Mattel has to make the box have every language on it. Why can't they just go back to making like a complete English box just for the US and the UK respectively, and then make the international box? I think I know why. It's just so they don't have to like take their graphic designers and have to design like 3 different box variants. So then we have like an English only box, an international box, and then a Chinese box. It makes the graphic designers have less work to do, but it makes your back look less cluttered, don't you think? You'd have more room to put stuff, like the way that you'd be able to give it a similar setup to your Chinese box, and then not have to worry about the design looking very cluttered, you know? This is, I don't know, this is what I would call like, in graphic design terms, but at least we got the other characters on the back. Anyway, enough of the box, let's get them out of the box! Alright, time to get you out of your box, duck. Okay, starting from the back. I'm gonna try really hard not to wreck the promo or anything like I did with Hayes's Day Out with Thomas box. Alright. Kind of, dang it, ripped the promo a little. Out comes the truck. Nice red truck. And here comes the man, the myth, the legend. The complete hallelujah of this whole line. Here he is, boys. Wow. He looks so good. Look at him. This is impressive, man. Oh my gosh. Wow. But yeah, there he is. Also, just show us, I forgot to take the instructions out on screen, but they're just the same old ones that they decided to reuse the old Thomas, so let's just whoop it out of the way. And let's take a closer look at Duck, shall we? So, here is his face. I like the way his eyebrows are sort of facing, and like they got the little one's looking a bit up. He's kind of like got a nice smirk there. And just for comparison, I'm going to bring up the wooden railway face. I think this might be slightly retooled from the wooden railway face. Except the only difference is they bulged the eyes out a bit more. But other than that, the face looks like an upscaled version of the wooden railway face, just if the eyes bulged out a bit. But yeah, here's his front. He's got a nice, bright red buffer beam at the front. This one, the one that's in the box, is a bit of a darker one. So that's interesting. His buffers are just little nubs on the front. Same with this coupling hook. But he's got a nice handrail up here, which is actually part of the face mold. So the handrail on the front is attached to the face. Here's his side. He's got a nice long funnel there. We got the GWR in the middle. And then the handrail is printed on the rest. Got that number 8 there, which is very small. He's got the rivets going on the bottom there. Got the nice handrails, the step ladder, which for some reason doesn't line up with his cab door, which I find interesting. Here is the back, and I don't understand why they didn't like raise his coal up extremely high to hide this. But yeah, that's like that. It kind of reminds me of like Ashima, the All Engines Go Ashima, where the switch sort of sticks out the back of the cab. It just looks a little, like, look at that. There's a giant hole there. It looks a little weird. But here's the other side. See, that 8 is like tiny. They could have made it just a little bit bigger. And here's his top. He's got the nice water caps. And here's his cab windows, where the sticker is like a bit of a darker green than like the rest of his body. But honestly, all in all, Duck looks really good in my opinion. So now, I'm going to bring in an older Duck so we can compare him. Alright, so here is my Tommy Duck, and apologies for the face falling off. It is literally so loose that it cannot stay on for the life of itself. So here's the fronts. And as you can obviously see, this duck is a brighter shade of green. It's even like that in the promo up here. Duck is a brighter shade of green, and his handrails are black instead of like the silver. So that's interesting. When we take a look at these faces, and we just layer this one over the top, it seems to be a tiny bit larger, but I think it will work. So, prepare to see this face on the push-on duck with this duck here. But, yeah, here's their fronts. Here is their sides. Like, look at how big that number 8 is. That looks so much nicer on this one compared to this one being super small. Oh yeah, and this one has Trapmaster 2 wheels because I customized it to be a Trapmaster 2 duck back in 2017. We're just gonna keep the face off for the rest of the comparison. Another thing I noticed is how short this cab is on this one. This one has like a long cab. This one's sort of short and squat compared to this one. And here's the backs. This one is obviously a lot taller. Here's the other side. Like, it's like looking at chalk and cheese. I don't know. It's crazy to think that this is like Duck's first Revolution model, though. And here's the tops. Now here you can see what I mean by like the cab is shorter by it's shorter by a slight margin. And then the boiler is also shorter. So the older duck is a little bit longer than the newest one. But yeah, it's crazy to think that this is Duck's first new model since like the Sodor Blackout line. Cause Duck has always kept this exact same model for the entirety of Classic Trapmaster's run. He was never changed to like a flat drive or anything. He kept his C battery. And then now he skips Trapmaster Revolution and All Engines Go Motorized at least. And he gets this new model here, which is actually insane though. Duck and Scotsman were like the two biggest ones that we flipped out over the most. But yeah, now that we took a look at Duck, let's take a quick look at his truck here. So this truck, the top of it is reused from like the truck that they used since Revolution started in like 2014, except it's got the newer design for when they switched it to like the gear wheeled chassis. But now it's got the new undercarriage to it. Like, look, you can literally see the hole for where the original back coupling was. That's how old this truck top piece is. Yeah, here's the underneath. And yeah, that was the truck. And honestly, I like how they gave him like a red truck because it makes it stand out a bit more compared to like Duck because he's got that green and then the red makes it pop a little. So yeah, not a bad pairing. But what are my final thoughts on the 2025 Motorized Duck? Well, I'd give him a 10 out of 10. As for where he'd rank, I think he'd either go between Thomas and Percy or Thomas and Nia in terms of the ranking. But yeah, also, let me just grab Thomas quickly. Because I want to compare this height of like funnel. That is a tall funnel, but I think it might fit the loading gauge. It might. Emphasis on might. It's slightly taller than Thomas's funnel. Because I know, anything that's, like, as high as the switch here isn't gonna fit the loading gauge. Because, like, these things fit the loading gauge really well. Except for the switch. Because, like, you can send this guy to, like, the Hyperglow station, and the only thing that won't fit is the switch. So, like, theoretically, you could cut this switch down to make some of these engines work on, like, some other older Revolution sets. But Duck, with how big that funnel is, I don't know if he's gonna fit the loading gauge. Yeah, this looks almost as high as the switch. I am going to test that in the running session. Speaking of running session, I need to pop some batteries in them. Alright, I've got my trusty screwdriver here, and we're gonna unscrew Duck. Actually, what's his production date? 78th day of 2025. Alright, so now, if we look at this shell, right? There's a screw there, and there's 2 screws here. So, if we unscrew those, this whole top piece is coming right off. And then I could easily take the face off and give it to the push-on Duck. And that is exactly what's going to happen with this Duck. Anyway, let's give him some nice, fresh batteries and see how he runs. He's a goer. Alright, let's pop this shell back on. Make sure that screw is in. There we go. Hook him up. And away he goes! So, now that we've got the main part out of the way, as we don't need to look at this guy or this guy on camera, and before we get to that running session, let's take a quick look at this, shall we? So this is the special bonus that Nate threw in. It's one of the UK Thomas magazines, and from down here it seems that it's also sold in Australia and New Zealand. Leo has never seen these in Australia, so what store in Australia would these be located in? That's the question. But this is the 80th edition. It says happy birthday, Thomas. And we got the weirdest hybrid things in this box ever. How does it, oh, alright. So there's a flap here with tape. I'm just gonna lift this up. Here's the magazine. Ooh, that's a nice promo. And here is the main piece of resistance. The weird engines. So we're just gonna open this up and take a look at them. These things are like the weirdest things ever, though, honestly. So starting with Thomas, like these things appear to be like the take-along molds, but they're complete plastic. And besides, this one's a weird one because it's the weird all engines go one. So we got original series Thomas proportions with like that all engines go window there. This is so weird. Like, look at that. Look at the lining there and how it just like slides over there. And then here's the back. Got Cole sticker. Oh, that's a nice sticker. The 80th. Got them weird whistles. That tiny face that doesn't even fit right. It's not even facing straight. What? This is so weird, honestly. This is such a weird thing. And then the buffers. I thought the buffers were stickers for a second, but no, they're actual buffers. This is such a weird item. And then we've also got Percy. Why does he have... Why is his roof gray with a... What? Okay, at least Percy's face is looking straight on. Then he's got the cab sticker, which is metallic, and then the back is metallic. This is very strange, honestly. The strangest retools of toys I've ever seen. And then next, we have James. And why is his copyright on his cab roof? And why does it have like a shader to it? It's like starts off with black and then it goes gray. What? James's face is also looking straight on, but oh my, is that the prototype James face? Is that? And his back has buffers, just like the Take Long. Yeah, he's got all his wheels there. His arches aren't painted for some reason, but yeah, he's got that metallic sticker. And here's his tender. I love that gold, and then how the 80th logo shines. That's a nice touch. Oh, and then on this, what? What is this? This is the strangest piece of merch I've ever had in my possession. Why is it the 5 on one side, and then why is it the 80th on the other? I like that gold. It's a nice shine. And then, of course, the sticker is... The coal's a sticker. Yeah. And then we've got Sir Topham Hatt, who also has a bit of shine to him. He's got a bit of shiny paint to his vest. This is only a nice... Honestly, a nice Sir Topham Hatt figure. I might end up using this in my series and replace the wooden railway Topham with this. Because this is definitely a bit nicer than that wooden Topham, as it's an actual figure. And actually, how does he scale to these guys? He's a bit on the tall side. He's kind of like about the same height as probably the wooden railway Topham, but I actually might use this in my series and replace the wooden Topham. But yeah, and then lastly, we have this. I think it's a badge. Yeah, you put it on your shirt or something. It's like a little badge, which has the All Engines Go Thomas on it, and the Thomas & Friends logo. And it has a nice shine to the sticker as well. But yeah, that was the very strange magazine engines. And, as well as the magazine as well. Oh, it's this. It's our favorite thing. But, yeah, I will take a look at this off screen. But anyway, that was the main attraction. So, why don't we get to the running session of Motorized Duck now, shall we? Okay, but quickly, before I give Duck his run, we're gonna give Duck the loading gauge test. So, what I mean by loading gauge test is, if we take another tank engine like Thomas from the New Range, all of his parts fit under this section here, all except for his switch, right? So, theoretically, if you cut this switch short, you could make him fit the loading gauge of literally any Trackmaster 2 thing. So, we're gonna test Duck's funnel here to see if it fits. Houston, it looks like we have a problem. So, Duck is officially the only tank engine in the new lineup to break the loading gauge. So I don't even know if he's gonna work on like the bridge jump like the others, like Thomas, Percy, Nia, like Thomas, Percy, and Nia. But Duck's funnel breaks the standard TM2 loading gauge, so he's as tall as the tender engines. I don't know what to think of that. But anyway, now let's give Duck his proper running session. And that was the running session of the 2025 Motorized Duck. So that marks the end of this unboxing video, and once again I would like to thank Steam Oddity for sending these items my way. And hopefully by the time this video is uploaded, Nate will have his half of the trade uploaded to his channel, so you can see what I gave him when I put the video on the end screen of this video. But this is HunterTube saying thanks for watching, bye for now, and for real this time, I will not lie unlike the previous video. The next video will be something completely different, so stay tuned. Oh, and before this video ends, have a sneak peek to a certain custom I'm finally working on.